Welcome, everyone, to Senior Care Insights here on YouTube. Your channel really focused on the health and, well, the well-being of seniors.
And today we're diving into something, really common, something that can be quite disruptive. Those ugh, leg cramps,
Yeah.
painful things.
That's right. And we're not just looking for, like, a quick fix here.
No, probably not.
We're going deeper. We're looking at how simple changes in what you eat, focusing on 3 specific food groups, can actually be long-term helpers.
Allies, really.
Yeah.
Keeping cramps away, building stronger muscles, and, helping with overall mobility.
Okay, so where do we start? Eggs.
Let's start with eggs.
Yeah.
Maybe not the first food you think of for muscle health.
Yeah.
But they really do pack a nutritional punch.
Interesting. Okay, unpack that for us. How exactly do eggs help prevent those bothersome leg cramps, especially as we get older?
Well, a big factor in cramps is often muscle fatigue. And protein. Well, protein is absolutely essential for repairing and maintaining muscles.
And as we age, we naturally lose some muscle mass, right? Sarcopenia, is that the term?
Exactly, sarcopenia. And that process, unfortunately, can make muscles, well, weaker and just more prone to cramping.
So how do eggs fit in there?
Well, think of them as these little powerhouses. They've got complete protein, all 9 essential amino acids, the ones our bodies just can't make.
Ah, the building blocks.
Precisely. And just one large egg gives you about 6 grams of really high-quality protein.
So that helps rebuild the muscle fiber.
Yes, rebuilds fibers, reduces that fatigue feeling. It basically helps muscle contractions become more efficient.
Which hopefully means fewer cramps kicking in.
That's the idea. Can really lower the frequency.
Makes sense. Giving muscles the materials they need to stay strong.
Okay, what about vitamin D? We hear so much about that for seniors.
Oh, absolutely crucial. Vitamin D is key for calcium absorption, of course, but also for muscle function itself.
And low levels are bad news for muscles.
Definitely. Low vitamin D is linked to muscle weakness, more cramps, sometimes even persistent muscle pain. Research shows seniors with low D often struggle more with leg cramps. And eggs have vitamin D.
In the yolk, right.
Yes, exactly. The yolks are a natural source. And that's really important for both bones and muscles, especially helpful, if you don't get much sun exposure.
Because sunlight is usually how we make vitamin D.
Right. So eggs can help fill that gap.
So eating eggs regularly could help ward off cramps linked to low vitamin D.
It certainly contributes. But it's important to have realistic expectations. One egg has around maybe 40 IU of vitamin D.
Okay.
And the recommendation for seniors is much higher, like 800 to 1,000 IU daily.
So eggs alone won't cut it.
No, not entirely. They're a valuable piece, but you'll want other sources too. Think fortified dairy, fatty fish like salmon.
Or maybe even a supplement, under doctor's advice, of course.
Absolutely. Always talk to your doctor. And, safe sun exposure when possible. It's about a balanced approach.
Got it. One part of the puzzle. Now, you also mentioned vitamin B12 earlier.
Yeah.
What's the link between B12 and cramps? B12. It directly impacts how well our nerves work. If B12 levels are low, those nerve signals can get, well, scrambled.
Scrambled how?
It can lead to muscle spasms, that sort of pins and needles feeling, and yes, muscle cramps too.
So it's not just the muscle itself, it's the communication, the nerve-to-muscle connection.
Exactly that. And eggs provide B12. They also have choline. Together, these help support the myelin sheath.
Which is like the insulation around the nerve wires.
Perfect analogy. It keeps the signals clear and fast. Better communication means potentially fewer neuropathy-related cramps, which can be an issue, especially with diabetes or just aging.
And are older adults more likely to have low B12 levels and related cramps?
Yes, they are generally at higher risk. Several reasons, really.
Yeah.
Stomach acid production can decrease with age, and you need that acid to absorb B12.
Okay.
Also, some common medications like metformin for diabetes or certain acid reflux drugs can interfere with absorption.
Right, I've heard that.
And sometimes it's dietary, maybe eating fewer animal-based foods, which are the main B12 sources. Low B12 can definitely show up as cramps, weakness, nerve issues,
Right.
even anemia.
Which means less oxygen to the muscles.
Exactly. All contributing factors.
And eggs are a good way to get B12 in.
They are. They're a pretty good source and often easier for some seniors to digest. Plus, you get the protein and other vitamins too.
What about cholesterol, though? That's always the question with eggs. How many are okay for seniors?
Very fair question. For most healthy seniors, the current thinking is that moderate consumption, say 6 or 7 eggs a week, is generally fine. Doesn't seem to significantly impact cholesterol negatively.
Okay, that's good to know.
But, and this is important, if someone already has heart issues or high cholesterol, they absolutely need to talk to their doctor. get personalized advice.
And egg whites are always an option, right? For the protein without the yolk's cholesterol.
Precisely. A good alternative if needed.
Now, can eggs specifically help with those awful nighttime leg cramps, the ones that wake you up?
They potentially can, yes. Nocturnal cramps often involve poor muscle recovery, maybe electrolyte imbalances or those nerve issues we talked about.
So the nutrients in eggs could help address those overnight.
That's the idea. The protein for muscle repair, B12 for nerve health, vitamin D and calcium for muscle function. Having eggs maybe at dinner or even breakfast helps spread those nutrients out.
Supporting that overnight recovery process.
Exactly. Potentially reducing those nighttime disturbances.
Okay, so eggs seem pretty versatile for cramp prevention. Any final caveats or things to keep in mind?
Just a couple. Seniors with kidney disease might need to limit protein, so they should definitely discuss eggs with their doctor.
Right.
And for those managing diabetes, pairing eggs with high-fiber foods, vegetables, whole grains is smart for blood sugar control.
Good tips.
But overall, yeah, for most older adults, eggs are a really valuable addition to a cramp prevention diet.
All right. Great info on eggs. Let's move to our second food group, the one everyone probably thinks of first for cramps. Bananas.
Ah, yes, bananas. Absolutely. And for very good reason. They are just a fantastic natural source of potassium.
Which we know is crucial.
Essential for muscle contractions, nerve signals, and importantly, fluid balance in the body.
So if potassium is low, cramps are more likely. How does that work?
Yeah. When potassium levels drop, it's called hypokalemia. Muscles just become more, well, excitable, more prone to spasms and cramps.
And nerve signals get messed up.
They can, yes. Disrupts the signals controlling movement. Plus, it throws off the fluid balance inside the muscle cells themselves.
And bananas help boost those potassium levels back up.
Exactly. A medium banana has, around 420 milligrams of potassium. That's about 12% of your daily need right there.
Not bad for one piece of fruit.
Not bad at all. So getting enough potassium through foods like bananas helps muscles contract and relax properly.
Keeps the nerve communication smooth.
Yep. And maintains fluid balance, which can cut down on dehydration-related cramps too. For some people, just 1 or 2 bananas a day can really make a difference in cramp frequency.
Tell me more about what actually happens when potassium gets too low. Why the cramps specifically?
Well, potassium is vital for those electrical signals between nerves and muscles. If it's deficient, muscles can become overly sensitive, easily triggered into cramping.
Like they're on edge.
Sort of, yeah. And the nerve signals can become erratic too, increasing the risk of those sudden contractions. Plus, cells struggle to regulate fluid properly, leading to stiffness and cramping.
And you mentioned seniors are more at risk for low potassium.
They can be, yes. Factors like reduced appetite, maybe not eating enough potassium-rich foods, certain medications like diuretics.
Water pills.
Exactly. Those can deplete potassium, even excessive sweating or just not drinking enough water. So bananas are a simple, natural way to help top up those stores.
You also mentioned magnesium earlier in relation to bananas. What's its role?
Magnesium is another really crucial mineral. Think of it as potassium's partner, especially for muscle relaxation.
Okay, so potassium for contraction, magnesium for relaxation.
Broadly speaking, yes. Magnesium helps calm down overactive muscles, preventing cramps. It's also needed to make ATP, that's the energy currency for muscles.
Right.
And it helps regulate the balance of calcium and potassium too. They all work together.
So bananas provide both?
They do. A banana has about 32 milligrams of magnesium. Not a huge amount compared to some other foods, but it contributes.
Every bit helps, especially since many seniors don't get enough magnesium overall.
That's right. Magnesium deficiency is quite common. So combining bananas with other magnesium sources, like nuts or leafy greens, is a really good strategy. It helps prevent that muscle tightness and spasms.
What about those nighttime cramps again? Can bananas help there?
Yes, they might. Since nighttime cramps can be linked to electrolyte imbalances, potassium and magnesium, or poor circulation or dehydration.
The nutrients in bananas could help?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
The potassium, the magnesium, even the carbohydrates, which help with hydration. Eating one maybe an hour or two before bed could help relax muscles and balance electrolytes.
Might even help with sleep quality if you're not being woken up by cramps.
That's a definite bonus. Reducing muscle tension could certainly contribute to better sleep.
Now, bananas also have vitamin B6, I noticed. How does that play a part?
B6. Another key player for the nervous system. It helps make neurotransmitters the chemical messengers controlling muscle movement.
Okay.
It can also help reduce inflammation, which aids muscle recovery. And it's involved in making red blood cells to carry oxygen to the muscles.
Wow, B6 does a lot. How much is in a banana?
One banana gives you about zero point 0.4 milligrams. That's actually quite significant, nearly 30% of the daily requirement for seniors.
And low B6 is linked to more cramps.
Research suggests that yes, possibly due to nerve issues or higher inflammation levels when B6 is low.
So bananas are like a multitasker for cramp prevention.
They really are. They hit electrolytes like potassium and magnesium, help with hydration through natural sugars and water, and contribute B6 for nerve function.
Important to remember water intake too, though, right?
Oh, absolutely. Especially if dehydration is a trigger. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. Coconut water is another option, good for electrolytes too.
So how many bananas are we talking? One a day? Two?
Generally, one banana a day provides a good baseline of potassium and magnesium. If cramps are frequent, maybe trying 2 could be beneficial.
But a consideration for diabetics?
Yes, definitely. Bananas have natural sugars, so moderation is key for managing blood sugar. Pairing them with fiber like nuts or whole grains helps slow sugar absorption.
Good advice. Okay, bananas sound great. Let's move on to our third group, nuts and seeds.
Yes, nuts and seeds. While things like bananas get a lot of the cramp prevention spotlight, nuts and seeds are incredibly valuable too.
Why is that? What do they offer?
They're just packed with good stuff. Magnesium, potassium, protein, healthy fats, all working together for muscle relaxation, good circulation, and electrolyte balance.
Okay, let's hit magnesium again. How do nuts and seeds stack up?
They're excellent sources. Remember we said many seniors don't get enough magnesium. Well, nuts and seeds are an easy, tasty fix.
Give me some examples.
Okay, pumpkin seeds are superstars. 1 ounce has about 168 milligrams of magnesium. That's like 40% of your daily need.
Wow.
Almonds have around 77 milligrams per ounce. Cashews about 74 milligrams. Just a small handful daily can make a real difference in boosting magnesium levels.
Helping those muscles relax. What about potassium? Are they good sources like bananas?
They contribute nicely, yes. Maybe not quite as high as bananas ounce for ounce, but still significant. Pistachios are actually pretty high, around 290 milligrams per ounce.
Oh, interesting.
Almonds have about 200 milligrams, cashews around 160. So adding them in definitely helps your overall potassium intake.
We talked about losing electrolytes through sweat or activity. Nuts and seeds help replace those.
They're fantastic for that.
Yeah.
Because they're rich in both magnesium and potassium, plus they offer protein for muscle repair and healthy fats to reduce inflammation.
So good for recovery after exercise.
Exactly. A handful of nuts or sprinkling seeds on a meal post-activity can really help replenish what's lost and potentially prevent those post-exertion cramps.
You mentioned healthy fats. How do they help prevent cramps specifically?
Healthy fats are great for blood flow. Good circulation means muscles get enough oxygen and nutrients, which reduces cramp risk.
Especially those nighttime cramps, sometimes linked to poor circulation.
Precisely. Think omega-3s, like in walnuts and flax seeds, they have anti-inflammatory benefits. And monounsaturated fats, like in almonds and cashews, help improve circulation.
So eating nuts could actually improve blood flow to the legs over time.
It certainly supports better circulation overall, which can contribute to fewer cramps.
What about inflammation itself? Can nuts and seeds tackle that?
Yes, they can.
Oh, yeah.
Chronic inflammation isn't good for muscles, makes them more prone to soreness and cramping. Nuts and seeds contain antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds.
Like what?
Things that fight oxidative stress in the muscles, lower overall inflammation. This helps with recovery and long-term muscle health. Walnuts, flax seeds, almonds are particularly good for this.
So which nuts and seeds are the best bets overall for preventing leg cramps?
Well, variety is usually best, but some standouts. Pumpkin seeds for that high magnesium, almonds for good magnesium and potassium, pistachios for high potassium, cashews for magnesium and healthy fats, walnuts for those omega-3s.
So mixing it up is a good idea.
Definitely. Get a range of nutrients.
How much should seniors aim for? We don't want to overdo it on calories.
That's the key consideration. They're calorie dense, so portion control is crucial. A small handful, about 1 ounce of nuts, maybe 20 almonds, or about 2 tablespoons of seeds per day is a good general guideline.
Easy to sprinkle seeds on things.
Very easy. On yogurt, salads, oatmeal. Great way to add them in.
When's the best time to eat them for these benefits?
With meals helps with nutrient absorption and balancing electrolytes. A small amount before bed might help with nighttime cramps. Worth trying. And definitely consider them after physical activity for recovery.
Okay. Any final things to watch out for with nuts and seeds?
Yes, a few points. Portion size, as we said, for calorie management. Watch the sodium on salted or processed nuts. High sodium can work against you.
Go for unsalted raw or dry roasted.
Ideally, yes. Allergies are obviously a major consideration. Find alternative sources if needed. And the fiber content, while good, could cause digestive issues for some if they eat too many at once. Moderation is key.
Right. So it sounds like bringing these three groups, eggs, bananas, and nuts and seeds, into the daily diet is a really solid and pretty tasty strategy.
Absolutely. A delicious way to support muscle health and hopefully significantly cut down on those frustrating leg cramps.
It's about sustainable changes, not magic bullets.
Exactly. Consistency really matters. And of course, listening to your own body. If cramps persist or are severe, always check in with a healthcare provider.
This has been incredibly insightful, really practical advice on using food to tackle this common issue. Thank you.
My pleasure. The aim is always to provide useful information people can actually use for better health.
And now, we'd love to hear from all of you watching. Based on what we've discussed, are there any changes you might think about making to your diet? Any foods you might add?
Let us know your thoughts or any questions you still have down in the comments section. We do read them.
Yes. And if you found this deep dive helpful, please give the video a thumbs up. It really helps other people find it.
And share it with anyone else you think might benefit, maybe a friend or family member dealing with cramps.
And please don't forget to subscribe to Senior Care Insights. Click that notification bell too, so you won't miss our future discussions on all sorts of topics relevant to senior health and well-being.
We look forward to continuing the conversation with you all.